Hello, and welcome back to Pear Tree Farm, and welcome back to my playthrough of Stardew Valley Expanded 1.15. Today we're experimenting with a different video format. Winter is the season of chores, lots of resource gathering, fishing, mining and farm planning. So this video is the season of winter in its entirety, only I'm just going to show you the good bits. We start out winter by scything back our dead crops, removing all of our sprinklers and generally clearing space. I have got big plans for crop planting in the spring, so I want to make sure that I have a good setup ready to go, and that involves clearing a lot of space. Smudge also proves that they are the best cat in the world by gifting us a sturgeon, one of the fish that I forgot to catch in the summer, and now don't need to worry about catching it this season for the community centre. Catching it can wait until next year when I start focusing on the fishing collection. I plonk a basic sprinkler down. This is going to be used to grow powder melons. I don't have a huge amount of powder melon seeds, so I'm just going to plant 4 crops and then ship them for the shipping collection. I head into the greenhouse to replant all of my fruit trees. While they wouldn't be producing in the winter, I figure out I'm not going to be missing out on any fruit producing time if I replant them this season. That way they'll be ready to start fruiting again come spring. I get sidetracked throughout the day with other activities such as chest fluffing, caring for animals, chopping down random trees, so I don't end up heading into town until it starts to get dark. Unfortunately, this means that I've missed the cutscene with the mysterious shadow person, but there's always tomorrow. I eventually make it into town, choose the quest to slay 50 dust sprites, because surely I can't be that far off from getting the burglar ring. And then turn in my hoarded prize tickets at the prize machine. I get myself a brand new double bed, some mushroom logs, some mega bombs, pomegranate sapling, and a Book of Friendship 101, which makes us irresistible to all the villagers. I'm not going to talk about the Joja hat that we also got from the prize machine. It was thrown straight in the bin. Screw you, Joja! We also snagged a handy dandy dehydrator. And I head up towards the mountains to check and relocate my crab pots, because I'm still waiting on a periwinkle for the raccoon, and stumble into a cutscene with Maru, where she shows us the wonders of the universe through her telescope. Back at the farm, I do some more productive chest faffing and refill my preserves jars with some hoarded pumpkins. I speed read Friendship 101, and villagers will now find me the epitome of charisma, uniqueness, nerve and talent, and won't be able to help themselves from falling head over heels in friendship with me. I decide I've got plenty of time to head to the secret woods for a sneaky bit of midnight foraging. Spoiler alert, I do not have enough time to have a sneaky midnight forage. But I do manage to stand myself the bearberry and some crocuses, which I think are the remaining items that we need for the winter foraging bundle. And then I end up passing out. We awake on day 2 to a lot of snow and a whole heap of posts in our letterbox. But I do manage to learn the recipes for pumpkin soup and gingerbread men, which is a new recipe which I'm quite excited to try because I do love gingerbread men. And Robin also sends us the crafting recipe for the wood chipper, which, let's be honest, I'll craft once for perfection, then deconstruct it. Willie challenges us to catch a squid and I start my daily on chores. I finally remembered to relocate my crab pots, so hopefully I should remember to check these each day. On the way into town, we are met by a handsome, mysterious, shadowy creature who scarpers off towards the community centre. But I will catch up with him later. First order of business, upgrading my axe to gold. I'll need plenty of wood for me to carry out all of my big plans this season, so an upgraded axe seems like a good upgrade to invest in. I potter through the town, checking the bins as I go, of course, before stopping at the bulletin board. Willie wants us to keep the art of fishing alive by catching some chubs. Spoiler alert, dear viewer, I do not achieve this, because I get sidetracked, and distracted, and sidetracked again. I head up to the community centre in hot pursuit of the little shadowy guy, who I startle out of a bush once I remember which one he's hiding in, because I feel like I'm getting rusty at this game. In excitement, the shadow guy drops a magnifying glass, and I now have the ability to read secret notes. Ooh, secret notes. The shadow guy runs off again, but I'm sure we'll be seeing him again soon. But no time for dilly-dallying. To the community centre. My foraging yesterday was successful, so time to donate the winter forage items and complete the craft room. Sing it with me, bundle complete and room complete as well. We'll gain access to the quarry, which I love so much more now that coal nodes generate there. And I stick around to see my reward of the star being thrown onto the plaque above the fireplace and bask in the glory of another completed room. I'm sad to leave behind my little Geronimo buddies, but there's stuff to be getting on with, like handing out gifts to the dwarf. And drenching myself in monster musk. And mining. So I spend the rest of the day spelunking in the mines, mainly to focus on Clint's special order to have 50 dust sprites slain. I'm not quite sure what the cute little dust sprites have ever done to Clint. Maybe they invade his forge at night and move all his tools around? They seem like the mischievous sort of creatures to cause harmless chaos. In the end, I complete Clint's request and even manage to complete the monster eradication goal for the bats. Although still a little way to go with everything else. I pass out in the mines, and that's 2 days in a row that I've passed out. Not impressed at all. And then the little Geronimos get to work using their little wiggling forest magic to repair the bridge to the quarry. Go little Geronimos, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle! Day 3 starts with the usual chest faffery and farm chores, before heading down to Marnie's because I think it's high time that I purchase some more animals to start filling my coop. I mean, I would love to fill my coop with rabbits. Unfortunately, rabbits are expensive, so I can only afford to buy 2. One rabbit called Peter Rabbit and another rabbit called Flopsy. And we still need some duck products, so why not get ourselves a duck while we're here? And meet Quackly! I have no naming conventions other than naming animals after the sounds they make and Beatrix Potter, so Quackly is the name of our duck. A warp totem gets me up to the mountains super speedy quick. No time wasting today. I need Robin to build me a fish pond because I have big plans. I told you that I've got big plans. Well, I've got big plans. And they involve a fish pond. But I've just realised I've spent all my money. So I can't afford a fish pond. So it was a waste of time coming up here? Well, maybe it wasn't, because it is Linus's birthday today. And that means, while I'm up here, that means I can go and give him his birthday present. Linus gets a mushroom colony that I foraged from last season. I hope it's not too stale for him, but I don't think he's fussy. Next, it's time to tackle the quarry and to gather resources. And you also get sped up footage here because I thought it looked super satisfying row by row of the quarry being demolished. I absolutely love clearing the quarry. I always used to use the quarry as an oak/tar/maple syrup farm, but I feel like the frontier farm gives us so much space. I think I'll leave it as a quarry this playthrough. Clearing the quarry was exhausting, but it gives me enough XP to level up in mining, which also gives us another level 10 skill, another step closer to mastery. Riding the high of a skill level up, I decide it's high time we get ourselves a scythe upgrade. So, time to head to the quarry mine and make a race through the levitating evil skullheads and muddy slimes. And actually, it's surprisingly easy and uneventful. I managed to get the golden scythe without too much hassle. I was expecting more of a fight considering I have extremely bad luck today, but I feel like the skulls went surprisingly easy on me. Mother also wishes for us to slay some squid kids. So back to the mines, and you know I can't stay away from the place. You know how I yearn for the mines. It doesn't take long to find a squid kid. In fact, I find one on my first floor that I try, and I'm beginning to think that today's bad luck doesn't actually mean bad luck. But with the squid kid slain, Mother will be most pleased with me. The rest of the evening is spent mining and working towards those monster eradication goals. I head back to the farm just before 1 AM and catch Morris on his way home. It is never too late to give the gift of cheese. And remember, cheese isn't just for the Feast of the Winter Star. Cheese is for life. And no, I don't know what I'm going on about most of the time. But we're slowly improving our friendship with Morris, so I'm hoping by the end of the season we'll only be a couple of gifts away from 10 hearts. Which means I can then finish the community centre, because we are still working towards our goal of befriending Morris before he gets kicked out of the town for good. And overnight, Mother's ex-girlfriend leaves us a dark gift in our coop. And of course, I level up to level 10 mining and choose the prospector mining profession. Day 4 brings more snow and more money. And excellent news. After yesterday's minor blunder, I now have enough money to commission a fish pond. With the farm chores out of the way, I head up to Robin's. Deja vu? On the way up, I dig up an old coin, a new Stardew Valley Expanded artifact, and I just want to say that I am loving these additional artifacts that have been added. It's a fun little surprise digging up an artifact and finding something completely new and unexpected. I finally make it to Robin's and finally implement the first stage of my big plans and get that fish pond built. I haven't actually cleared the space that I want my fish ponds to go, so it's just plonked in a random spot for the time being. But once it's built, I'll probably rearrange things again. But for now, the second order of business is to head to town to collect my gold axe. But Clint doesn't get a break. I am setting him to work this season. It's time to upgrade my hoe as well. You've got to have a high quality hoe. Down to the beach next, where I immediately miss my hoe because look, there's an artifact spot and I want to dig it up and goddammit, Clint, hurry up with my hoe. But luckily there's a nautilus shell which we need for the field research bundle, and then there's a quick stop to do a little fishing. The mission, which I have chosen to accept, is to catch a gold star quality tuna. I plan on being here all day, nay, all season until I catch a gold star quality tuna. I'll be here as long as it takes. Day, night, blizzards, I'll be here. Okay. I've caught a gold star tuna already. Cool. That was much quicker than I was expecting. But that's another item down for the community centre. And I also think that poor Mr. Raccoon has gone hungry for long enough. I have been remembering to check my crab pots, so now I have a 5th periwinkle for Mr. Raccoon. I give him the 5 periwinkle and the smoked largemouth bass. And Mr. Raccoon is so grateful. He not only gives me 25 powder melon seeds, which, let's be honest, I probably won't plant, but it's the thought that counts. But Mr. Raccoon gives me such a sweet nickname, Bobo. He has stolen my heart, and now I know that I will do anything to help him in any way possible. It's time to earn a bit of cash, so after turning in the quest to slay Squid Kid for Mother, I spend the rest of the day fishing and smoking my catches. I'm mainly after bullhead and expanded river fish because it's fairly easy to catch, but iridium quality bullheads sell for about 555 gold, and when smoked they're worth about double that, so it's a good money making fish. And then the rest of the day is spent fishing, and then when it starts to get dark I head back to the farm. I don't really want to pass out again, so back to the farm just in time for the usual chest faffery, and I end up passing out again. How am I doing this? But overnight I do earn a reasonable amount of gold, which means more money to help implement my big plans. Day 5 starts with me sauntering out of my house, proudly presenting a freshly fished bullhead to the world. The bullhead whispers to me, "It's going to be a good day, Bobo," before I smoke it for that sweet, sweet cash. Mother R has written to us today, and yes, I am trying out a new nickname for Mother. We seem to be on friendlier terms now that he's offering to teach us magic, so I feel the title Mother R is a far less formal title for the mustachioed mystery magic man living in the woods. Before we head down to see Mother R, there are farm chores to be done. Every day there's farm chores to be done. And apparently on my way to Mother's, I decide I need to chop some trees down. Maybe I woke up and chose deforestation today. Who knows? Not me. Or maybe I'm just trying to improve the view for my sweet little Mr. Raccoon friend. A good view will increase his property value, and I'm sure that will make him more attractive to a mate/wife. Upon arriving at Mother R's tower, we are shown how to use the Shrine of Illusions, also known as the Shrine of Delusions. Because Mother R, you are delusional if you think I want to change my appearance when I look this good. Check out the mystery hat. Come on, I look good. After learning some magic, I head back out again, and it turns out today I did wake up and choose violence. Violence towards trees, because it's time for deforestation, baby! As I said before, winter is the season of chores, and today's chore is lumberjacking. I achieved level 10 foraging, and that's another skill down. We're getting towards mastery. With my arms aching, I head back to the farm in the evening. Because now my friends, it's time to craft paths. I'm going to work on starting the layout for spring, which is one of the reasons why I needed so much wood. First things first, planning out the main thoroughfares of the farm. I want the main paths to be stone. Now, I don't want you to judge me for this, because I'm not overthinking this, I promise. It's just the way my mind works, okay? But the reason that I like to have the main pathways as stone is because they're hard wearing and will get the most use. Okay, I know that paths don't deteriorate in Stardew Valley, unlike fences, but I just have a way that I like to do things, okay? And then I try out a few different options as like a contrast flooring. I start with the rustic plank floor, but I don't really like the way it looks because it doesn't have a straight edge against the cobblestone pathway, which is probably why it's called the rustic plank floor, because it's rustic and a bit wibbly wobbly. If I were a more intelligent person, I would have figured this out before wasting wood on the rustic plank floor. But we live and learn. Next, I try the weathered wood floor, which I really like the look of, so that and the cobblestone are probably going to be our main paths on the farm. And then before I know it, it's 1:40 AM and I am not in bed, and I really don't want to pass out again, so I run as fast as my chunky farmer legs will carry me into bed. Day 6, and more snow today and more post. This time from Clint wanting us to give Emily an amethyst. Listen, Clint, I want no part in your weird mating ritual attempts. Just ask the girl on a date and get it over with. If she says no, move on and get your act together. If she says yes, then great. But still get your act together, mate. Morning chores are carried out as usual as I contemplate what this Saturday will bring me. For starters, Robin has finished the fish pond, and I've decided what fish I'm going to have in the pond, and, drumroll please, it's going to be the anglerfish! That's right, as of 1.6 legendary fish can now be kept in fish ponds. Okay, so that's part one of my big plans. I'd really like an area for fish ponds with all of the legendary fish. But we'll work on that. This morning, I'm just going to carry on planning the crop area. I suss out how many sprinklers I'm going to need, and I want to keep a path between the rows of sprinklers to make it easy to walk between the crops. But I've just realised how many sprinklers I'm going to need. It means that there's going to be a lot of mining in my future. By the evening, I head into town, first to collect my copper hoe and then to drop off my watering can for an upgrade. Then it's time to catch up on a couple of chores. Elliot wanted a topaz, which nets us a prize ticket and a potted plant for our house. Next on the hit list is poor Emily. My journal insists that I must complete the amethyst delivery on behalf of Clint, so Emily gets an amethyst. I try explaining that I'm not romantically attracted to Emily in the slightest, and that the amethyst is from Clint, but Emily hears what she wants to hear. And I don't think she wants to hear that the amethyst is the commencement of mating rituals from Clint. Sorry, mate, she's just not that into you. And then the rest of the day is spent laying paths. I'd really like the layout to be finished by spring, so I need to get a move on. And that's it for Saturday. It's Sunday and it's day 7, and that means Queen of the Sauce. I learned the recipe for plum pudding, which I'm not going to lie, sounds amazing. I love plums. We had a plum tree where we used to live and it grew the most amazing plums. I'd make plum puddings non-stop while the plums were in season. Ems were the days. Anyway, guess what we start the day doing? If you guessed chest faffery, then you're only partially correct. I actually lay down some stepping stones next to the house to create a path leading to the walk point. This should help keep it clear of debris so I'm not found short and trapped again. Next, chores commence. For all those wondering, Flopsy and Peter Rabbit are doing very well, along with Quackly. But today we are not focusing on the coop. Today we are focusing on the barn as I head up to Robin's to request a deluxe barn upgrade. I need me some pigs, because I love pigs. It's also Carolyn's birthday. I take her a gold star quality cucumber. The colour of the cucumber matches her hair. I think about this odd coincidence as I potter towards the Joja Mart. Caroline's hair matches her favourite things. Cucumber, green tea, maybe she just loves the colour green. And that's why she had an affair with Mother R in the spring, when his hair was as fresh and as green as the budding leaves on Stardew Valley's trees. And that would match up with Abigail's birthday. Autumn babies are conceived in the early throes of the new year, when spring is just about to sprung. Maybe spring wasn't the only thing that was sprunging, if you get my drift. All of this runs quickly through my mind before any thoughts are wiped away as I enter the Joja Mart. The repetitive hum of the fluorescent lights seem only to chant, "Join us, thrive, join us, thrive." And I give Morris the Moneybags Moss a bribe, also known as a gift, for friendship. And I think it's time that I head out of town, head out of the Joja Mart, and head away from this strange mindset that I've got myself into. And as I head out of the town, I check the bins as I go, of course. Then, my dear viewer, something amazing happens. From Jody, Sam and Vincent's rubbish bin, I find the trash catalogue. I'm absolutely elated. So elated, in fact, that I decide the rest of the day should be dedicated to a fun activity, like fishing. I've got my fish smoker with me, so hopefully a nice amount of money will be earned too. And this brings us to day 8 of winter. For all you fans with the Stardew Valley know-how, you'll know that today is the day of the Festival of Ice. And we also managed to acquire some fabric yesterday, so Emily invites us to use her sewing machine. Although, with an outfit as snazzy as mine, why would I need to craft any other clothes? Before the festival starts, I engage in my usual chest faffery, smoke fish, and just get on with general farm chores. When the festival starts, I head down and start saying hello to everyone and stop by the travelling merchant to see what she's selling. She's actually selling a brand new Stardew Valley Expanded recipe that I haven't seen before. Chocolate truffle bar, which sounds delicious. Oh, hot damn, that recipe is expensive. Luckily, with the fish that I sold yesterday, I can just about afford it. I run around like a mad thing as usual, trying to say hello to everyone. And again, it's the usual Festival of Ice shenanigans. Clint thinks Emily has some ulterior motive for helping him build a snowman. Sebastian is upset that his snow goon was destroyed. Demetrius should have worn a coat. I mean, there's snow on the ground, Demetrius. And Willie is just excited to get fishing. And the fishing competition starts. I think about letting Willie win, but I'm sure that he would be more happy if I proved that I was keeping the art of fishing alive, and I win the competition with 6 fish. Not my best festival, but a winning festival nonetheless. And then, with any spare time I have left, I carry on setting out sprinklers and laying down more pathing, and decide that it's high time to start brewing some coffee. I need them triple shot espressos. Day 9 starts with all the usual farm chores. The animals are doing well, the greenhouse is coming along nicely. And seeing as our copper watering can is ready, as soon as I can, I head into town with some freshly forged iron bars and a pungent jar of Monster Musk in my back pocket. That can only mean one of 2 things. I'm either going to commence mating rituals with Clint, which I can only assume would involve Monster Musk and forged metal bars, maybe an amethyst or 2. Or I'm going to ask Clint to upgrade another tool. Fortunately for me, it's the latter. I ask for Clint to upgrade my hoe before trudging through the snow to the special order board. I have the choice of collecting a dozen eggs or hunting down ghosts for ectoplasm. I choose ectoplasm. Then to the mines, because I yearn for the mines. I drench myself in Monster Musk and get spelunking. I managed to find a ghost on level 55 and it dropped some ectoplasm for me. Thank you, Ghost, for giving me your ectoplasm. Mother R will be most pleased. Not long after, I also managed to complete the monster eradication goal for dust sprites. Burglaring, here I come. In fact, no time to waste. Let's head straight up to the Adventurers Guild to claim my prize. Then, back to the mines. This time deep in the lava levels. Mainly looking for gold so that I can craft more sprinklers. And that's it for day 9. Day 10 starts with a coffee harvest. I normally keep half a dozen plants or so in my house next to a couple of kegs, and they normally produce enough coffees to produce a good amount of triple shot espressos. I've never planted this many coffee plants before, and oh my word, I am getting so many coffee beans, which means so much coffee, which means triple shot espressos. Speed boost, baby! After the coffee harvest, I head down to see Mother R. After all, we do have the ectoplasm, and it's time to give him another gift. Give me your friendship, Mother! It's also Sebastian's birthday, so after a quick foray into the munitions production, I crafted bombs. I'm heading to Skull Caverns for a bit. I walk to the mountains to see if I can get into Sebastian's room. I can! He likes me! He really likes me! I then decide that actually luck isn't really good enough to delve into the Skull Caverns. Then it's too late in the day to get to a decent level, so regular mines it is. I mainly spend the rest of the day floor resetting for dust sprites. I'm in desperate need of coal again, now that I've used it all in my bomb making. And that's how I spend day 10. I told you that winter was for chores and resource gathering. On day 11, a little boy chucking hatches. He's named Chicken, as in chicken, but with a question mark. Clint has also finished my hoe, so time to head back into town to get another upgrade started. This time I'm upgrading my watering can to steel. And then I get back to the bus stop just as Pam arrives, which is fabulous news, because today is the day I'm going to the desert. Also, how amazing is the burglaring? I managed to get 2 spicy eels and an iridium bar from Monster Drops on the first floor of the Skull Caverns. I'm not expecting to get very far down today. It's mainly just a little dive for fun, and to get to level 25 for Mr. Key. And also, because, say it with me now, I yearn for the mines. And Skull Caverns, it's just like a never-ending mine and it's so much fun. I love this part of the game where I'm starting to get enough resources to craft bombs to do a comfortable session in Skull Caverns. Getting access to iridium starts changing the game. All of a sudden you can start crafting crystallariums and iridium sprinklers and upgrading your tools to their final forms. And then you start feeling invincible until you get to the Crimson Badlands, if you're playing Expanded, and get knocked out within seconds. However, I make it to level 25 easily today. I'm not going to make it to level 100. I think I'll probably try my first proper deep dive into Skull Caverns during the Desert Festival, and get a decent way down into the mines before passing out at 2 AM. Overnight, Mother R's ex must have heard that I was getting friendlier with Mother R, and curses our coop. Again. Day 12. And do you know what that means? It's the start of Squid Fest. Squid Fest, Squid Fest, Squid Fest. It's the best Squid Fest. No time to rest, cause it's Squid Fest. Squid Fest, Squid Fest. It's the best. No time to rest. It's Squid Fest. Yes, I came up with that song all by myself. Talented, aren't I? Any record agencies out there listening? Sign me up. I can produce absolute anthems like that. Anyway, Mr. Key does send us the reward for making it to level 25 of Skull Caverns, and then I do all the usual farm chores. It's also Gunther's birthday today, so I need to make sure that I remember to give him a fabulous gift. I do like Gunther, and I'm glad that Expanded adds him as a proper fully fledged villager that you can interact with. The travelling merchant is in town, so I head down to say hello to her and her pig, and to also see what goods she has on offer. She's actually selling a fish taco that may come in handy for Squid Fest. It's the best. Squid Fest. No time to rest. Squid Fest. Lovely Mr. Raccoon has found himself a wife, but he's still hungry. This time he needs fruit, dried crystal fruit and powder melon jam, which I'm sure we should be able to give him without too much delay. And then, the moment that you've all been waiting for, or maybe it's just me who's been waiting for it, Squid Fest! I've got my bait maker and my smoker with me, so I should be able to catch plenty of squid and also earn a nice amount of cash too. I end my day of fishing just after midnight. I've caught 22 squid today, a number that I'm very happy with. This nets me all of the prizes for Squid Fest today, and hopefully I can do just as well tomorrow. Day 13! Unlucky for some. And wow, it's actually a really bad luck day today. Although it is pumpkin harvest day in the greenhouse. I think I've only got the wild seasonal seeds left to fill these patches though. Hopefully it won't be too long before the ancient fruit will start fruiting and we can turn the fruit into seeds and profit. Or I could just get some starfruit seeds for the time being, but I don't feel as though I actually have enough money for the initial investment of the seeds. Besides, I have other plans for the money today. Time to get my steel hoe and hand my pickaxe into Clint for an iridium upgrade. Which does mean no mining in the next few days, unfortunately. But I'm sure I'll cope. I'll cope by doing the only things I know how to. Fishing and foraging, really. I also speak to the dodgy guy in the van next to the Jojo Mart. He wants a rabbit's foot, and in exchange I get a boost to my luck. Sounds like a good trade to me. I'm sure there won't be any downsides, right? Did I just sell him my soul as well? He did mutter something about terms and conditions as he took the rabbit's foot off. I'm sure it's fine. Next, it's time to head to the beach. Because, sing it with me now, Squid Fest, Squid Fest, Squid Fest. It's the best Squid Fest. No time to rest, cause it's Squid Fest, Squid Fest, Squid Fest. It's the best, no time to rest, it's Squid Fest. And again, talent agencies that would like to sign me on for a record deal, I am available. Feel free to contact me, reach out. I can produce bangers such as Squidfest song. So yeah, just let me know. Just let me know. Cool. Only 17 squid are caught today, but there's still enough to get to the highest tier of rewards, and after those are collected, it's time to head to bed. On to day 14, and I have a plan for day 14. I end up crafting as many fiber seeds as I possibly can and hoeing all of the spaces that I have ready for crops. This means that the fiber will grow and hold all of the spots so that they're hoed and watered ready for the first of spring. I won't be able to craft enough fiber to fill out all the spots, but it's better than nothing. In between planting fiber, I carry on smoking a squid and brewing coffee. The rest of the morning is spent doing farm chores and chopping down a few more trees. I craft more sprinklers and carry on with the farm planning. And that's it. That's day 14. Quick one today. Day 15. And today we have a good luck day. And our iridium pickaxe is ready. And I have bombs. So that can only mean one of two things. I'm finally going to show Pierre how I really feel about him. Or it's a good day for the skull caverns. I have just enough time to fit in all of my farm chores before Clint's opens. I get my iridium pick, but I'm not sure what I'm going to upgrade next. I choose to take Robin's request to collect 1,000 stone. That shouldn't be too hard to do in a trip to Skull Caverns. And I've also got enough money to splurge on some desert seeds. Time to invest in starfruit and beetroot. And then, my friends, to the mines, to the mines. I'm actually here because I want to work on leveling up my combat. Gathering resources is a secondary mission. I'm so close to leveling up my combat, which is my last skill that I need to get to level 10. And then after that, we start working towards mastery. And on level 23, at 5:10 PM on Monday the 15th of winter, I do it. Level 10 combat. Even though the night market is open, I decide to spend more time in the mines. The only thing that I'll miss out on is getting a head start on buying spring seeds, but the night market will be there for the next couple of days, so I'll go fishing tomorrow. And it's a good thing I do stick around, because on level 51 I managed to snag a lucky ring from smashing open a crate. Fun fact, I very rarely receive lucky rings from panning. Most of the lucky rings I've ever received in my many save files of Stardew Valley have been from the Skull Caverns. Of course, having a luck ring does pose a bit of a predicament. I once won my glowstone ring, burglar ring, and lucky ring at the same time, but combining rings is off limits until we get to the volcano summit on Ginger Island. In the end, I decide to stick with the lucky ring and the burglar's ring. Not having the magnetism really sucks, but as soon as I equip the lucky ring, I get a prismatic shard. So I'll live in the dark and without my raw magnetism. For now, anyway. I managed to get down to level 82, much further than I was expecting, before I passed out at 2 AM. I'd use the brute profession for my level 10 combat. I might respec everything at some point, once I'm later on in the game, but I'm happy with all my professions for now. Day 16, and I awake today and sense that a new way is open to me, and I should really go and see what all that is about at some point. First though, farm chores and chest faffery. Most of the rest of the day is spent chopping down trees on the farm. I need the wood, and I also want to clear space for activities. Then, as the evening rolls around, the night market opens. I stop by and see the mermaid show, grab my free coffee, and you should never ever say no to free coffee, and then submerge myself in the submarine to try and catch the spookfish, midnight squid, and the blobfish, which I actually managed to do without much trouble. And I finish just in time to be walked back to the farm and tuck myself into bed. Day 17, and we're really zooming through the winter days now. Most of the days are filled with chores, resource gathering, and just catching up on all the small things. But today is possibly the most important day of the year. Today is Mother's birthday. And before I head down to see Mother, you guessed it, I do some farm chores and faffery, and more sprinklers and paths. Mother gets a gift, and there's not much else to say about today. And you can see why I wanted to do winter as a different video format, so I can cut out the endless hours of footage of me laying down pathing. But I do also spend some time in the quarry, conscious that I still need to collect 1,000 stone for Robin, and I'm only about halfway there. Thursday the 18th of winter rolls around, and I head down to Marnie's. Today is the day that I would like to buy a pig. But it turns out Marnie isn't working today. Damn it, Marnie, I tried to defend you by saying that you have regular days off, Mondays and Tuesdays, and then you go and take a random Thursday and winter off. Gosh darn it, Marnie. Fuming, I storm into town instead, before taking the minecarts home. That's how fuming I am. I can't even think straight and I don't know where I'm going. I end up handing off my axe to Clint for an iridium upgrade, and rather than head to Skull Caverns, I decide that I should try and complete Robin's request by resetting some lava levels in the mines. I'm merely trying to complete Robin's special order of gathering 1,000 stone still, and to collect some more gold. I also want to work more towards the eradication goals of the Shadow Brutes. Ideally, I'd like to complete this eradication goal before meeting Krobus, just because killing them after knowing that they're sentient and befriending one of their own feels wrong. And on that joyful note, let's move on to day 19. Day 19, and look at the sight of our farm this morning. Bars ready to be collected from the furnaces, which I moved from the mines. Geode crushers all ready to collect goods from. Coffee brewed and pumpkins pickled and ready to be sold. Today is a good day. And it's also Marlon's birthday today, and it turns out he loves to have a roots platter dish. And it just so happens that I have all of the ingredients to cook a roots platter, so it's going to be a good birthday for Marlon. Farm chores commence, animals are fed, watered, milked, etc, etc, and I head down to see the lovely Mr. and Mrs. Raccoon. I've got their powder melon jelly and dried crystal fruit, so hopefully this will help them feel less hungry. I also get the Raccoon Journal. Reading it gives me a higher chance to find mixed seeds when I scythe down fibre. Thanks, lovely Raccoon. Next up, Marnie. She is finally behind the counter today, so I buy myself a pig. He's called Percy, and I love him already. He should be fully grown by the start of spring and ready to go out hunting for truffles for me. I'll add more pigs to our barn eventually, but at the moment I'm conscious that there's not much winter left, and I'm going to need to buy plenty of seeds come spring. Now, up to the Adventurers Guild. It's time to say happy birthday to the birthday lad Marlon. I also get a rusty shield from an artifact spot, and this must be another new artifact added by Expanded. Flash Shifter, how many new artifacts did you add? Then I check up on my eradication goals. I'm only 200 off slimes, just over halfway for the void spirits, and still depressingly far off killing enough skeletons. The rest are volcano/skull cavern monsters, so I'll get round to these eventually. After seeing that my monster eradication goals need much more work, it's back down to the place that I yearn for, the mines. I drench myself once again in monster musk, and it's time to work my way through the lava levels again. Still after that stone for Robin and those monster eradications. My iridium pickaxe is super speedy quick. I love the iridium tools. Bring on the iridium scythe and advanced iridium rod from mastery. I end up passing out as soon as I get home, and Mother R's ex again curses my coop with another void egg. Day 20 starts with, come on, guess. What do you think I start my day by doing? Leave it in the comments in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I start my day with chest faffery and farm chores. In fact, today I have crops to harvest from the greenhouse. Nothing much exciting, just the seasonal wild seeds that I planted last week, but I love harvesting the winter seeds. I find it so funny that the winter roots and snow yams are just sitting on top of the soil, rather than being hidden underneath artifact spots. I've got some strawberry seeds that I can plant, but the rest of the spots will be filled with winter seeds again, at least until we have more ancient fruit seeds. And more time this morning is spent adding sprinklers to the farm. I think I've crafted enough now for the initial crop spots, and I have more fibre seeds that I can get down. I won't plant any more fibre seeds because I want to be able to harvest them all on the spring one, and they take 7 days to grow. Clint has finished my iridium axe, so now I'm starting on getting my inventory bin upgraded. I know it may seem like a waste to some people, but I think when you get to this point in the game, and you're delving into the skull caverns, you end up running out of space in your inventory. That's when the upgraded inventory bin comes in handy. I'll be able to bin things but still retain a portion of the gold. It's Granny Evelyn's birthday today, so I stopped by and give her a fairy rose. I've saved it from the autumn. I hope it's still in good condition. Next, to the quarry, and I still need to gather stone for Robin, and honestly I was hoping for more stone at the quarry. But never mind, I have a backup plan. To the mines I go. Back to, you guessed it, resetting the lava levels for stone and gold, and anything else that I can get my hands on. I managed to complete Robin's special order fairly quickly, and then I just keep going because I yearn for the mines. I also managed to gain my first mastery skill. I choose to grab the advanced iridium rod. I make a note to attempt to catch the glacier fish, and I also want to gather pine cones to trade for powder melon seeds. I want the powder melon seeds to hold spaces for me come the spring, and I should be able to get my hands on a fair few pine cones to trade with the raccoons. Then it's time to head to bed and tackle day 21. The Queen of the Sauce shows us how to make pumpkin pie, which I think sounds amazing. I have the Queen of the Sauce cookbook in real life, so I'm definitely going to look up the recipe for this and give it a try, because I've never had pumpkin pie before. And I spend the morning doing... Yes. Go on. Yes. I spend the morning doing farm chores. Hooray! And chest faffery. Even more hooray! I then get on to planting some powder melon seeds. I don't feel bad that these seeds will go to waste. I think they're worth more to me as placeholder crops, to be honest. I also craft some challenge bait, mainly because I can, and then head to the travelling cart to purchase a fish taco. I'm going to need it. Time to tackle the glacier fish. I actually hooked it on my first go, and you can see how much of a fight it put up. It takes me a little while longer, but I managed to catch it, the glacier fish. That's my second legendary fish down. Only more to go? Now time for more fishing, and I'll play with the challenge bait. I'm actually not that great at using it. I think it's because I expect the fish to move a lot more. But if I'm catching chubs, I generally don't need to move my fishing bar, so sometimes this catches me out. I also want to take this time to say how much I love the advanced iridium rod. I love being able to attach 2 bobbers, especially cork bobbers. 2 cork bobbers plus deluxe bait plus seafoam pudding. Oof, it's glorious. And I'm sure we'll see that combination at some point through this playthrough. I spend the day fishing away, enjoying the challenge bait, and just enjoying the winter fishing in general. Day 22. I spend a fair amount of time planting more powder melon seeds. The more I plant in winter, the less I have to hoe and water in spring. I keep thinking that surely I have enough seeds to fill all the spots, but I don't think I'm even halfway there yet. Chest faffery and farm chores commence, and I have beets to harvest from the greenhouse. 10 of these beets will be stored in a chest safely for future Mr. Key shenanigans. Next, I pop up to see Robin. It's time for a second fish pond now that we have our second legendary fish. I also shufted the fish ponds down next to the barn. Hopefully I can make a nice fish pond area down here. I take the opportunity to purchase a couple of stacks of wood and as much stone as I can afford. I want to do this to make sure that I've got a good supply of resources, and I want to buy the resources now before the prices soar on the 1st of spring. And then down to Clint's to collect my inventory bin. And because it's Monday, it's time for a new special order. Rock rejuvenation or fragments of the past? Seeing as I need to work towards the skeleton monster eradication goals, I choose fragments of the past. I also have a prize ticket waiting for me. Give me that star drop tea. The rest of the day is spent doing a few more chores. I've crafted more mayo machines so I can keep up with processing all of the eggs my birds are laying, and I've also crafted more cheese presses to get through the milk that I've managed to stockpile. Once that's done, it's time for more chest faffery. This time I'm looking for things that I can sell. I've just spent all of my money, so time to do some bulk selling to bring back some gold. Then, the evening is spent in the mines. I'm after skeletons tonight. The mines are kind to me. I meet my monster eradication goal with no problem, and I've nearly completed the special order already. I pass out as I reach the warm lava levels. Day 23, and the money rolls in overnight, and I'm back to rolling in cash. The ancient fruit are ready to harvest, so it's time to add to my ancient fruit empire. Most of the day is spent doing farm chores, sorting chests, hoeing spaces for crops, and planting winter seeds to hold spots for the spring. And then I craft some mushroom logs. Come the evening, I spend a bit of time gifting beers to the patrons of the Stardrop Saloon. I need to work on those friendships. And then back to the mines. It's a day of chores today. The special order is completed when I collect my 100th bone fragment, so the late hours of Tuesday are spent in the lava levels. Floor 102 is an infested floor, perfect for working towards those eradication goals, so I reset floors 100 to floor 102 a few times before passing out for a second day in a row in the warm lava levels. Day 24, and it's Winter Star Eve. Leah greets me this morning by giving me a sculpture called How I Feel About Korean Tialita. Thanks, Leah. I'll find the perfect spot for that, and I totally won't just plonk it somewhere and forget about it. Promise. Farm chores are carried out, and a little dinosaur hatches in our coop. He is called Munch. Then I decide it's high time that I completed a few outstanding quests that I have, and drop off a few things to the community centre, and also drop off a few things to the museum. First, to town, where I hand Clint an iron bar. Next to the museum to donate the Amber and Shield, which I feel could be the name of a pub, you know? Amber as in like Amber Pale Ale, and Shield as in, I don't know, that's kind of like a tavern-y sort of name, isn't it? The Amber and Shield? Anyway, and I drop off the 100 bone fragments. Then back to Clint's to drop off 20 iridium ore and 20 coal so he can blow up the railway boulder. I spend a small fortune on coal because you can never have too much coal, and I want to buy as much as possible before the price increases in year 2. I hand Mayor Lewis his shorts. It's a little awkward because Marnie is standing right there, but I don't judge. Much. To the secret woods to drop off maypeel syrup. The bear shares with us his secret bear knowledge. The bear also has a shop that we can visit, and I wonder if there's anything new in Stardew Valley Expanded 1.15 with the bear. Next, it's time to find Demetrius to give him the melon that he requested 2 seasons ago. Sorry, Demetrius. And then to Jody, Sam and Vincent's house for dinner with that largemouth bass. A quick stop at the mayor's to turn in some prize tickets and bin the cow decal. If I could put the cow decal in the barn, then I'd probably keep it, but I can't see me using it in my house. And finally to the community centre. Time to drop off the Nautilus shell. Bundle complete. Then I donate the sturgeon to the lakefish bundle, and that's another bundle complete. I donate a gold star tuna to the quality fish bundle, and guess what? That's the third bundle complete. And go on, guess what I do for the rest of the evening? To the mines. It's a good way to unwind after a long day of completing chores, and I actually try and head back in time for bed tonight and make it to bed just in time. Day 20 and happy Feast of the Winter Star Day. It's a gorgeous day today. The snow is fresh on the ground and it all feels very Christmassy. However, the animals still need seeing to, chores still need to be done. I've got just enough time to sort a few things out on the farm before heading to the Feast of the Winter Star in Pelican Town. One of the things I've been meaning to do is to start dropping off resources to repair Grandpa's shed. I've got nearly everything I need apart from the iron bars. I've got enough ore though, so it's just going to be a case of smelting it all. I head into town and potter around wishing everyone a very happy Feast of the Winter Star. And it turns out my secret giftee was Abigail, and I hand her an amethyst, which she seems to love. She was looking quite hungry after all. And then Caroline is my secret gift giver. She gives me a poppy seed muffin, which I absolutely love IRL. Poppy seed muffins are some of my favourite types of muffin. So thank you very much, Caroline. It's a fun festival, but I head back home to the farm before it gets too late. I've got just enough time to plop the glacier fish in its very own fish pond before I head to bed. Day 26, and we're in the final days of winter now, so it's time to make sure all of the winter chores are done and that I've got enough money to buy all the spring seeds that I want. First things first, farm chores and chest faffery. It's also Clint's birthday, so I'm going to give him a gift. I'll gift him an amethyst, because I seem to have quite a few of them, so he can have one of my spares. I also head up to the summit now that Clint has blown up the boulder that blocks the path. There are a few winter forageables to pick up, and then I head to Robin's to spend all of my money on stone. This wasn't a mistake, right? I'll be able to earn enough money fishing, right? The lovely raccoon family have welcomed a little one, which means that they have their little raccoon paws full. I offered to help them out by finding them dried mushrooms and cave carrots. I would be delighted to help them. And then the rest of the day is spent fishing and smoking my catches. Day 27, and the morning starts with the normal chores, refilling kegs and preserves jars. I've got produce ready in the greenhouse, so time to harvest all of that too. I've got coffee beans, winter forage, and strawberries ready. The strawberries are turned back into seeds, and so is the winter forage. The winter forage will be planted out to hold, you guessed it, more hoed spots for the spring. Next, I make a quick trip to the desert. I want to buy some warp totems for the desert, and also a few artifact troves. Sandy has also requested a fire quartz, so I want to complete that request for her. Completing quests means money and friendship. It's a win-win. Then I warp back to the beach. Time to pick up forage and then head to the Blue Moon Vineyard. It's Sophia's birthday today, and luckily I've saved some fairy roses for her. The rest of the day is spent smoking fish and fishing for more fish to smoke. Day 28. And it's a Sunday, so of course I start the day by watching my favourite cooking show, Queen of the Sauce. Her Royal Majesty of the Sauce teaches me how to make cranberry candy, a recipe that also sounds super sweet and tasty. Not only is it Sunday, but it's the last Sunday of the season and the last Sunday of our first year on Pear Tree Farm. It's been an incredible first year, and I have loved exploring the Frontier Farm, but I'm looking forward to discovering the rest of what Stardew Valley Expanded has to offer. We've got lots of fun things coming up in year 2, I'm sure of that. The morning is spent carrying on with all the winter chores that need finishing, and then heading down to my favourite spot on the river to do some more fishing. There's still some time to earn some more money before the start of the new year. As I fish, I think about everything that we've achieved this year. I'm honestly surprised at how many bundles I managed to complete in the community centre. I wasn't expecting that, especially seeing as we've got all of those extra bundles. And now we only have 2 rooms left to complete in the community centre, and none of the items that we need are that hard to come across. I've managed to get a good amount of artefacts donated to the museum, and I'm fairly friendly with all of the villagers too. Apart from Pierre, I have the lowest friendship with him, and I'm not including the dwarf in this because I only met him partway through the year. My skills are at level 10, and I've even achieved mastery level 1. It's been a fun and a relaxing year, but I'm looking forward to really getting things rolling in year 2. And I think that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this new format, although I'll be going back to the normal weekly episodes at the start of spring. So I'll see you in the next video at the start of year 2. Bye for now.